about 50% of our customers are existing customers that have come back again. And
That's huge.
so, which I think is huge and we're really proud of. And so I think it is those little touches that you may not see on paper, but I think end result leads to that customer loyalty. Like, that it's not a program or an incentive, or I think, again, if you just do those, they're just those little tiny extra touches, I think it leads to that.
Welcome to the Women Choosing Growth podcast, where we bring you practical advice and guidance on how to grow your business and achieve success in your entrepreneurial journey. We feature inspiring stories of success, challenges of growth, and lessons learned from women entrepreneurs, industry experts, and thought leaders who have been through the growing pains inevitable as an entrepreneur. Whether you are just getting started or are looking to scale up your business, our show is designed to provide you with the tools, resources, and community you need to grow your business. Join your host, Tina, a lifelong entrepreneur and business growth advisor, as we explore topics such as marketing, sales, finance, leadership, and personal growth, all tailored specifically to the needs of women entrepreneurs. So if you're ready to grow your business faster and smarter, and learn from the experiences of those who have traveled the growth path before you, then this podcast is for you. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get started.
Hello, ladies, and welcome back to another episode of Women Choosing Growth. I'm your host, Tina Sue, and today we have with us Marti Wymer. She is founder of Spoonful of Comfort, an online gift-giving business that ships soup and other comforting gifts to loved ones who may even be across country. Her story starts from an unfortunate incident that she shares with us, but also turned it into an enterprise employing hundreds and serving millions of customers. She also shares with us her story about being rejected on Shark Tank, only to prove them wrong when they said her business wasn't worth investing in. Her success all lies with the culture that she has built from the heart and instills in her team. She and the team live by the golden rule, and that there is a person at the end of every order. I wish every product in this world had that same feeling. She shares with us her story of success and insights on how to focus on giving your customers the greatest experience of their life, no matter what your product or service. Let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode. Today, you may recognize our guest if you're watching us on YouTube, or recognize her story if you're just listening. We have with us Marti Wymer, who is featured on the Shark Tank back in 2016, spotlighting her business, Spoonful of Comfort. She and her team have touched the lives of close to 3 million people and continuing to do so every single day. Her story is one where a good deed from the heart turned into starting something from her kitchen to multiple distribution centers and employing hundreds of employees. Marti, today we're going to talk about creating a great customer experience as you have. But before we dive into that, I would love for you to tell the story about how you started in your kitchen. And I feel like this was not a well drawn out 15-page business plan. It was more of something from the heart. So can you share how this wonderful business became about?
100%. It all started from this tragedy and deeply personal place. And back in 2007, I got that dreaded call from my mother that she had been diagnosed with cancer. And the worst part is, at the time, she was living thousands of miles away in Canada. I was living in Florida with young babies, young family, and I was just crushed and devastated, and wasn't in a place to be able to jump on a plane to go and comfort her. But I wanted to show her how much I cared and loved her. And so I was going to send her something. And I jumped online, and there were tons of flowers, candy, fruit. I love all those things. But for this particular situation, it just didn't feel appropriate. And I thought, what do you send someone who's sick? Chicken soup. Couldn't find any online at the time. And tragically lost her 6 weeks later. And this idea would literally wake me up at night. Why isn't there anyone doing this, kind of in this space providing gifts, care packages that are completely focused on comfort. And finally, I thought, what better way to honor her than to help other people in the same situation that I was in? And so, like you said, I don't even think I considered it a business at the beginning. I was just in my kitchen and started putting and hand delivering care packages to friends and families and neighbors. And that's where it all started.
So I'm sorry about your mom. That is tragic, it being a country away in such a short period of time. That had to
Mhm.
be very difficult. Sounds like you're honoring her in a wonderful way. But how do you go from making a couple bowls of soup to this multiple facilities, hundreds of employees at peak season? What did we say, 3,000 or 3 million already so far? Like there's a gap there. How did that happen?
There is a big gap.
When
And
was it a
sometimes
business?
I know, and sometimes I tease, if I knew them, what I know now, I don't know that we would be here. It was really these little steps along the way and just starting. And like I said at the beginning, I didn't know if anyone was going to do this. It was more about me having a place to pour my grief and energy, and it made me feel better to help other people in that situation. And then this one day, I had signed up for this PR promotion and won 2 free months of PR. And we got a little bit of traction. And this one morning, I didn't even know it was coming, that the USA Today had included us in a blog post. And I went to my computer and I'm like, this is back in the day. A lot of people may not remember this, but that movie, You've Got Mail, where every time you get an email, your computer like dings.
Dings.
And
Yep.
I'm just sitting there in front of the computer and it's going ding, 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 ding. And it's just orders coming in. And I have no idea why. I didn't know the blog ran. I was like, something's broken. What's going on here? And my
Someone
poor
turn that
husband,
dinging off, right?
he walks by and, and I'm like, And I'm like just sitting there crying. I like locked up. I'm like, I don't have soup. What are we going to do? And my husband was so fantastic, canceled a business trip he was going on. And between him and friends, neighbors, family, we got those orders out. And, like I said, these little moments along the way, it's like almost, there is luck, there is serendipity involved for me in the growth of our business. Um, and when he went on that trip, a partner he had been in business with in a previous venture is like, what happened? What's going on? And he's like, oh, that's my wife's little business had this
Little
big
business.
event. And he's like, wait a minute, what? And long story short, my husband and his business partner ended up investing and coming in and helping to operate because they saw like, wait, maybe there is something here that could turn into a scalable business to expand and help more people. And that was, one of the big drivers along the way that helped to take us from an in the kitchen to a real business in quotes. So
In quotes, real
in
business.
quotes, real business.
We
Yes,
have people. We're not in
yeah,
the kitchen. We're not in the kitchen making soup anymore.
exactly. Yeah.
You're one of the things that you're super passionate about is creating a great customer experience besides having amazing, tasty soup, right? But it's really
Yes.
about the experience because this was a heartfelt, deeply personal thing that you started. So how do you keep that sense of care and passion alive as you continue to scale to this size and beyond?
It is. That is my passion, and that is something that have been very conscious and protective of as we've continued to scale and grow through the years. When you're sending a product out with your mother's name on it, I think that just helps keep you grounded in what you're doing and what's important. And I'm sure there's part of it of the nature of the business that we're in, but I am like constantly, I'm just so proud and humbled by everyone that works with us, really takes every single package personally. whether it is the customer service department, whether it's at packout, whether it's putting it on the truck. If we get a last minute order and the truck is gone, they'll jump in the car and drive it to the airport, to UPS, to make sure we get that package out. And I think we all just feel this like sense of responsibility based on the occasions that we serve to make sure we do it well.
So that seems easier to do when it is a personalized product. If you were, or speaking to the people who are listening that don't have something for a special occasion, maybe it's just a product, right?
Sure.
What are some of the things, and I'm sorry for putting you on the spot here, maybe you don't have those, but what are some of the things that you see in your business and the leaders of your business to help a company think, wow, that'd be great if every one of my employees felt as compassionate as I, the owner? I mean, that seems easier said than done.
I think about that a lot, and I do think it applies no matter what business you're in. You have a customer that's a real person, and how is this product going to affect their lives? And I do think it's a little bit of the golden rule of treat people how you would want to be treated, and take away that stigma of corporate and big business maybe doesn't care about the end user or the consumer or the customer. And I think you could apply it to any business. And it really is a relationship at the end of the day, right? And
Totally.
I try not to take for granted people. They have a lot of options, and they are choosing to do business with your company and give you their hard earned money, that I feel a responsibility in doing it well and delivering on what we say we're going to, and care that it's a good experience for them.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like it really boils down to your culture that you're building from day one, because it was very,
Yes,
very emotional and heartfelt, and you just kept that and made sure that the people on your team also understand that.
100%.
Do you,
And
do you, Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think something, and maybe there are other businesses that don't have this opportunity, but we love the reviews that we get from customers, and we share that often of, when there are those hard days, those roller coaster days. We just had, the hurricane just affected so many people. We had a number of packages going to those areas, and having to like jump in to, what are we going to do? And we got to pull some back. And are we going to reship? And we have to call and let everybody know what's going on. And so I think it's just back to that golden rule, how it's a real person and how would you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Do you have some do's and don'ts from the thinking about the client's or the customer's experience when they're getting a package in the mail, either yours or someone else's? Like, how do you make sure that they feel that passion that you literally shipped?
That, we try, I hope so. I think have been and continue to be very thoughtful about every aspect of what we do, from the packaging, from the product themselves, and how we put it in the box and take care of it. To, if they have an issue and want to call us, we're happy to talk through anything that they want to. I don't know if that's quite answering your question for that. Again, just trying to, I hope we always convey we are real people who really want their experience to be great. And so we try to put that sentiment in whatever the product is that we may be developing, or accessories to go with it, or new flavors. We are very thoughtful about that part of it when we design or develop something new.
Okay. Yes. So really being thoughtful of not just the order is taken, we're going to ship the thing.
Right.
It's really about the experience of the customer.
100%.
Everything from packaging to unveiling.
Unveiling. So, okay. So, for instance, one example of that is um, during COVID, things were crazy.
Yeah.
It was hard to get products, and there's some packages we use that crinkle, that like gift crinkle that goes in
Mhm.
there for padding. And the company, all the supply chain people are having a hard time with, we usually use white. But then we went through craft and they ran out of every color. And like, oh my goodness, at one point we had purple. And, we but we would like literally write a note in the package. I'm really sorry. We know the purple doesn't match. I'm really sorry.
That's awesome.
We couldn't get any other color. So, you know, please forgive us, basically. So those are like the little things of like, we got to go purple or we can't send it. But just taking that time to, I think we explain to the customer why something is a certain way, they just give us so much grace.
Mhm.
That's what we experienced. But yeah, so we didn't just try to like slide purple in. We're like, we know this looks awful. Forgive us. We couldn't get anything else. We tried, and they were great about it. So
That's awesome. I love the fact that you just owned it. Like, look,
look,
if you've watched the news during that time, you knew things were not easy to get. They're sitting
mhm,
on ships somewhere out in sea, and all we have is
mhm.
purple.
All we have is purple. So yeah.
So, not every day when you're scaling a business with products and to the size that you are and continue to scale, there's got to be some uh, not so pleasant customer interactions, right? So, especially in your world where you're giving gifts at sometimes not the greatest times, right?
Right.
So how do you maintain authenticity and also have that compassion for your customers? What advice would you give for other people in that same situation?
I think um, we if there's a mistake, we don't ever try to cover it up. And it's tricky because in theory, a number of things that can happen to our package are out of our control. For instance, in shipping, something happens, but we take responsibility for it. That's something we decided early on. And UPS, maybe, sorry, UPS, a shipper maybe messed up because things happen. But we don't just say, oh, well, that was UPS, sorry. So we just decided to make that commitment to, if they did, we will reship it on our dime and make sure, again, we deliver on what we promised you we would from the beginning and to the end. And so, if a lot of things will have big storm or the hurricane, it rather than chance something getting there late or ruined, we'll go ahead and intercept it. We'll bring it back. We'll reach out to the customers. We'll let them know. Like right now, we have a number of orders and customers. There's still areas that can't be delivered. And we just stay in communication. We're going to hold it. We'll ship it when it's ready. If you want to cancel it, that's fine too. That we just fully take responsibility, I would say, I guess, for our product, that the end result is going to be right. And that's up to us to make that happen.
The end result is what the beginning request was, right?
Yes,
Whatever they wanted, that's what they're going to get
exactly.
within reason. Hey, incredible women entrepreneurs. It's Tina Sue here. I know you're juggling a lot, growing your business, managing family time, and trying to find balance. Deep down, you know you're capable of so much more, but maybe fear or uncertainty is holding you back from achieving that dream business, that dream life that you deserve. That's why I created the Dream Big, Plan Bigger guide, a game changer for your business growth. This isn't just another goal setting document, it's your personal roadmap to achieving the impossible. Imagine having a clear vision of your biggest dreams, breaking through the barriers that hold you back, and reigniting that passion that fuels your journey. This guide is your roadmap to doing just that without compromising your family time or your personal priorities. You deserve to see your business thrive and still have time for what you love. Let's take this journey together. Download your free Dream Big, Plan Bigger workbook now at tina-sue.com and start making those dreams a reality. Now, let's get back to the show. So I know you must have a ton of amazing stories that come to mind, but can you share a story of when your team went above and beyond? Because you're already up a couple levels of
That's
personal touch. But like, what comes to mind when I say a story when you went above and beyond to make a customer feel extra special?
oh my gosh, tell me. To choose one.
I know.
Oh, this is
And
one that
what
I
impact,
love.
like one
It's
that
so
had impact on your business too.
I know, or these are just ones that we love or are proud of. So we had a woman call and wanted to place a college care package um, for her niece, and what should we put in there? And our college packages are mostly surrounded from coming from a parent, and we have this one little sign that's super cute that says "Call your mom." And we have a lot of very talented people. And, this one woman, Karina, they were like, oh, hang on, give me a second. And they called Karina because we all know she's very crafty and has a Cricut. And she's like, I can totally do that. So she took our call your mom sign and literally cut out cute from the Cricut. I don't know if it's called like stickers or like these vinyl, and covered up. And it said, call your auntie. And it was so cute and so thoughtful to she wanted something in there. And one of the, from customer service agents is like, just give me a second. Let me see what I can do. And made a quick call and was like, yeah, we can do that for you. So that's, those are extremes, but I think a great example of those little touches.
This translates exactly into what's so important for all businesses, right? Products and or services is the Google reviews. So I imagine these little touches that you're doing pretty consistently. How has the Google reviews or what else is really showing that like zero expense, right? Like you don't pay for Google reviews, and the phone call to the crafty person in the other room doesn't really cost anything. So these great ROIs that you're doing, how's that affected your business?
I think, again, we're very proud of the great reviews that we get, but I think that has resulted in just retaining our customers. It is so hard to market these days and to acquire new customers and get the word out there, I think, for everybody. And so I think for us, the ROI on that is, I think, then they come back. So we have about 50% of our customers are existing customers that have come back again. And
That's huge.
so, which I think is huge and we're really proud of. And so I think it is those little touches that you may not see on paper, but I think end result leads to that customer loyalty, that it's not a program or an incentive, or I think, again, if you just do they're just those little tiny extra touches, I think it leads to that.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. And that's the perfect RO, right? It's $0 and it retains and probably attracts referral customers from those same people who have had a great experience with you. Speaking about building and retaining loyal customers, what else, what do you do to make sure that you're continuing to grow that other 50% of the business?
Oh my goodness, that one's hard.
Yeah, advertising isn't cheap, especially when you have a actual product.
I mean, and then I just when you think you have it figured out, I swear they change all of the algorithms,
Algorithms. Yes,
all of
they
it.
do. They literally do.
Oh, right. And I think we learned early on to test little things, and if it's not working, then we let it go and pivot and try something new. And
Mhm.
I think that's a big challenge is it's just so hard getting your name out there and brand awareness. And especially for a business like ours that it's occasion based. So you might hear about us today, but you don't need us today,
Mhm.
and it's tricky because we're like, walk the sign of, we hope you don't need us, that you don't have these occasions come up in your life. But when they do, we're here if you need us, and those are, I find one of the hard things is just to keep up with all the ever expanding ways to get your name out there, learn new channels, goodness, AI and all of those things.
Mhm.
And just trying to keep on top of all of that is definitely a challenge.
Yes. Well, you can pat yourself on the back because you have already reached 3 million who have used you. And there's probably another million who are like hoping they don't have that occasion, but know about
Yes.
you. Yes. Um, I want to talk a little bit about the Shark Tank story. So, words of advice.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So, this was another, I talked about these like serendipity moments throughout our growth. Um, and this came at a time when we were really struggling. We were, whew, um,
It
yes,
was
really
early on,
struggling.
right?
This was
Early on in your
early
journey.
on in 2016. And just when you hit those moments of, gosh, do we keep going? Do we throw in the towel? For me, it's like, gosh, am I being irresponsible to my children to continue going after this without knowing and having faith that it's going to work out? And I was in one of those hard places when I got the phone rang and they said, this is Shark, we're calling from Shark Tank. And I was like, am I being punked? I didn't even know Shark Tank did that. I was like, this is
You
a
don't
prank.
you have to apply?
So, yes, but they apparently will call if they hear about you or get a referral
Oh.
from somebody else. They'll call and invite you to apply. And so, of course, my first gut reaction was no, thank you. That Mr. Wonderful is going to make me cry on national television, and no way, But then my husband, level-headedly, is like, this is a great opportunity. Like we were just talking about how hard it is and expensive it is to market and grow your business. And so he's like, this is a great opportunity that we should go for that. And so went through the process just like everybody else, and it is intense. And you don't know at the end if they're going to film you. Even if they do film you're not guaranteed that you're going to air. And so we went there, and I like to say we got chewed up and spit out by the sharks. It was gut wrenching and not fun. And they basically, called my baby ugly. And it was awful. I was so upset and devastated about it. And so we went through that process, but I will say it might have given a little extra boost of, we'll show them we can do it. They're not
Mhm.
right, because they were so mean. So, gave us a little bit of a boost for that. And so, right when it finished, you don't know that if it's going to air. Then we got the call that our segment was going to be aired, and it was the season opener for
Oh,
Shark Tank.
even better.
And you have these mixed emotions
I'm
because you're not.
feeling emotional for you right now. Like, oh
Well,
my
it's
gosh.
it's crazy, especially because, and you of course sign your life away. You can't tell anybody, anything about it. And you're like, you kind of want to tell everyone, but we kind of don't because we knew how bad it was. And so you kind of want to not let anyone know what's going to go on. But so at the time, that was right on the cusp of when one thing I do appreciate is like the producers of the show will introduce you to other companies to help you prepare. And that was on the time that they're like, listen, this can take your site down. You have to have all this inventory. You know, we got all panicky and at the time to get all these extra servers and do all these extra things to prepare for this huge spike in business. And we were waiting and we were watching and family was on and we had an uptick, don't get me wrong, but we didn't get this like crazy spike. You know, back to you have to have the occasion to send, right? So when people go on and learn, it's like, oh, but so then we didn't get that right away spike. And we were like, oh no, double, you know, whammy that we felt was awful. However, after that, just slowly, business started to uptick and grow and expand. And I will say, you know, if anyone ever questions humanity, come spend a day with us. People are so nice. People would send us emails, customers would reach out. And I think it ended up maybe like working in our favor. People felt so bad for us. I think they ordered because they're like, I can't believe they were so mean to you.
They order for
And
themselves.
so I'm sorry, I feel bad. I'm going to order just because I feel bad for you. So we appreciate those who did. And that was a really, you know, a definitely tipping point, that growth, just getting that brand awareness out there, customers coming back. And then as a result of that, just having more resources to pour back into marketing and, you know, ads and PPC and all those fun things that we were able to grow from that. So, you know, my advice, yes, don't let fear, you know, hold you back. I say now it was a great experience. Anyone who asks, should they go on and do it? Absolutely. I think they totally should, even though we didn't have the ultimate outcome.
But maybe you did.
Maybe,
right? So you didn't have to give any equity away and you got
correct.
the incremental growth that didn't take any servers down and didn't,
Yeah.
you know, kill your your production. So sometimes that is a blessing in disguise.
Blessing in disguise. We've had a lot of those.
So other women who maybe have had either investors or even vendors, partners call their baby ugly. What do you recommend for them to get through that?
Oh, and it's so hard. I just recommend don't listen, you know, put your earplugs in, keep moving forward with what you believe in. And I truly believe if your focus is on what you're putting out there, what you're giving to the world, um, the people who need it will receive it as uh, in a positive way. So don't listen to the negative, even though it's so hard.
I mean, all of our babies had a period of not so cute. Then they go through teenage times too. Even my own children had this little awkward stage, you know.
Oh
So
my
like your
gosh.
business might be a little awkward,
A little
maybe
awkward. Yeah,
maybe a
like the
little
baby
teenage stage.
acne or when the like hair
Yeah.
falls out on
Oh
the
yeah,
back.
the bald
Uh-huh.
spot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And so it
Sorry, my
is
kids,
true.
if you're listening, but they know. I tell them you're really
Exactly.
cute now, but you
Very
did
cute
have
now.
some growing pains.
Just like a business. Business is
Just
our babies for a reason.
exactly. For
Thank you for
sure.
that. Final words on advice, or maybe just bullet point a couple of those great nuggets you said about really providing a great customer experience for any business listening.
Oh gosh. Again, I think for us, for our business, it's just remembering there are real people just like us on the other side. And um, the right thing to do is the right thing to do when you have a hard decision to make. Um, I think another one of our core values is we always find a way. And like the purple crinkle, if you just own it and explain, people will give you grace. And gosh, what would be a last one? I think internally, one that I love, and again, also with customers, like you said, sometimes you get those hard calls. People come in hot, and I don't know if they're expecting to not have understanding. And I think sometimes we throw them so bad when we're like, oh my gosh, okay, we'll fix it. Is they may come in angry and have this expectation that they're not going to be taken care of. And so I think just assuming best intent all around, and internally with our customers, but that's something, and again, with our customer service team, we know they are really upset and we want to fix it. And sometimes they're the ones that turn around being our best customers after they know that we truly do want to make it right. And so those would be, I guess, my little
Yep.
nuggets. Yeah.
Your little
I hope
nuggets.
are wisdom to somebody, but yes.
Yes. Well, and it's true, right? I don't have the stat right in front of me, but people, I want to say it was like 20-1 will talk about a business they had a great experience versus one that they didn't, right? So like if you can make that a super fan, um, then those are the people who are doing the Google reviews and telling their brothers and sisters and telling their colleagues about what a great experience they had. Even the product can be as basic as can be, but if the experience was something over the top, that's when they talk about it.
Yes.
Awesome. I love your sharing. Thank you for your openness today and your story. Your mother would be very, very proud. I'm sure she is.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
Yes. And thank you for really talking about, the end user of all of the products out there in the world, products and services. So appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. The Woman Choosing Growth Show is not just another podcast. It's a tribe of women helping each other grow. So please, share this podcast with all the women entrepreneurs that you would love to see succeed. If you'd like to know more about customized business advising through Cultivate Advisors, download business tools, or sign up for upcoming events, visit www.womenchoosinggrowth.com. Once again, that's www.womenchoosinggrowth.com. Remember, we are in this together. See you on the next one.